Hello, this is Reg with PaxAriaGaming with episode 13 of Crimson Desert. We're going to be doing a little bit of exploring in this episode. No main quest stuff, just exploring. I'll show you sort of where we are, what we've done so far in the beginning. And we'll do a House Thorel mission of the Corrupted Greymane. We're going to apprehend an outlaw. Then we're going to do a House Azarian quest. What else are we going to do? We're going to fight a couple of bosses. And we'll wrap it up at that point. So it'll be a shorter episode, certainly shorter than the last one. The last episode was 2 hours and 45 minutes. This one will be about an hour. And then we'll get back to the sort of hour and 45 minute to 2 hour blocks of time. I'm still absolutely loving this game. Okay, we're back at camp. So I found out that there are 40 Greymanes that you need to get. I'm showing you guys where I am. So obviously you can see that I've completed everything up until chapter 9, which I haven't started, and I won't start in this episode either. But after we get past the exploring episode, we'll go ahead and start chapter 9. And that'll likely end up being 2 or 3 episodes, depending on how long that chapter is. I'm not sure. This is showing you where we are with the factions. Most of the Hernan ones are done, or at least done up to a point. I mean, I think that there are NPCs that if you interact with, it will expand some of these quests. That one we haven't done. And the witches, we still need to do this, but that's in a different region. That's actually not in Hernan. The Demeniss quests, we're doing some of those as well. We're going to do some of those in this episode. The Corrupted Greymane is one that we're going to do. The Delesia, I guess as you pronounce it, that one, we haven't done a whole lot there, and we haven't done a whole lot in the Crimson Desert either. This is one we want to do. So the game is huge, and actually, I probably should show you guys at the start the sort of discovery stuff, like how many caves out of how many, so you can sort of see where I am in reference to how many there are left to do, and the number of hours I put into the game so far. So I think that will be helpful. I'll do that at some point in the future. But right now, we are headed to the Corrupted Greymane. So I don't know whether this is someone we know from the prologue or not. Is someone going to open the gate for me? I guess I have to do it myself. Thank you guys for joining me in this series, and I appreciate you hanging in there for all this time and your patience with me. I upload every Tuesday and Friday. I try to do it like clockwork, to be consistent in that regard. The length of the videos may change a little bit, but I try to get them to an hour and a half, no less than an hour and a half, no more than 2 hours, but I've sort of broken that rule twice now. The last video was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and this video is a little over an hour. So I'll try to get back to sort of consistency. The problem is, if I'd started the main quest, I'd end up having to split it after just starting. But anyway, onto the video.
I see.
This apparently is the Corrupted Greymane, who's an archer.
A noble soul driven by your mission. Yet here we stand as equals. Clawing for survival. And dying like a beast.
Probably could use righteousness
demands.
Oops. Okay, evasive shot. I was gonna say I probably could use nature's snare on her.
You know full well you must die. Your suffering will only be a moment. I'm no longer Naira's student. My skills have long surpassed hers.
Okay, that's what it was. So she was a student of Naira. Interesting.
Now, let us bring this hunt to a close.
She's the Crimson Warrior now. This is not the sword I mean to use, actually. She's lighting me up with her arrows. I don't even have time to stop and use Nature Snare. Okay. This L3 thing is still a thing for me. She escaped my little barrage. Yeah, if you use the little focus punch thing on her, it sort of stuns her and it also raises her stagger meter significantly. So she seems to jump away when you do it more than once. All right, let's try Nature's Snare. Oh, didn't work because she didn't throw anything at me. She threw these little bomb thingies. And of course I wasn't locked on, so that was useless. And now I'm out of spirit. I think once I learn how to use Nature Snare, it could be a pretty significant, nice little skill. Okay, so it doesn't work on this arrow rain thingy either, which I think is going to be your prize for defeating her. Or at least it'll be an abyss gear that I guess you can place on a one-handed weapon to use. I wonder if I can put it on my bow. I guess it depends on how much damage it does. It doesn't look like it does a whole lot of damage. Okay, so it did sort of block some of that. See, what you do is that focus, the focus palm thingy seems to disrupt, focused force palm seems to disrupt her. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing now. But it seems to disrupt her when she's trying to fire off the raining arrows thing. she got out of it that time. Yeah, she actually moves around a lot. I used this strategy with Altumbra's sword, and it worked well. You can stun him and get 3 or 4 really good hits in, causing a lot of damage. And in his case, if you time it right, you can just keep repeating that. In her case, she seems to... I totally missed that. She seems to fly away. So she won't let you do that. She won't let you sit there and just spam that on her. And then when she goes up here, I guess if I use sort of the evasive shot, I should be able to hit her, because you're in sort of a focus mode when you do that, and it slows time down a little bit, which you would definitely need. I don't think there's an auto lock feature with the bow. Oh, I was just getting ready to say she's about to kill me. Okay, no problem. And as always, we show the first death and the last death. But we're close enough to the end that we might not want to do that. So let's just use a Palmer pill. Since she's right at the end, we got her down to less than 10% of her health. And I shouldn't have needed to use this. There we go. Yep. There you go. So I should have been able to do that without wasting a Palmer pill.
Demon! I'm taking you!
Ooh.
We'll meet again on the other side!
Okay. But he got his revenge. And I guess he'll see her on the other side. Okay. So we finished the Corrupted Greymane. We got an artifact. Yeah, one of the benefits for doing all of these little subquests is you always get an artifact. So you can get an artifact there. You can get an artifact for finding the Abyss Crescents in the game. You can get an artifact from XP. You know, so there are multiple ways you can get artifacts, and you do need more of them in order to upgrade certain things as the game goes on. And early in the game, I had said, well, I'll probably unlock everything before the end of the game. I don't know whether that's still true. It may be. It may be. You know, the game will let you know when you have, well, if you go to the skill tree, you'll see what's upgradable. So I think that it's important to sort of pay attention to that. Go back to it every now and again. You won't be able to upgrade simply because you get one artifact, because sometimes it requires 2, 3, or 4 artifacts in order to update or upgrade. And if you're patient, sometimes you get the skill unlock for free. Like that evasive shot I got in this fight. I didn't need to use an artifact to get it. I suspect that I've used artifacts on ones that would have unlocked automatically in the game. But I don't know which ones are going to automatically unlock.
Fashion may change, but elegance is eternal.
You know, if this were 2010, I'd be following a guide, like the old Dragon Age games and games like that. So you actually did everything. Maybe even the first Souls game I played, I think I used a guide. So I think that in this respect, you don't do it that way. You don't need to do it that way.
To see you here. After Bastia fell, House Azarian slowly began to rise again. And it also gave me the chance to finally set out on my journey. As a humble servant of House Azarian, I'd like to thank you for restoring stability to the house. And I must insist that you accept this humble token of gratitude. Please, take it.
Okay. Thank you, buddy. We have a outlaw to apprehend. It's been a long time. Blair is the outlaw. It's been a long time since I showed an outlaw capture thingy. We also have a fast travel point. Let's do this. Yeah, typically, I won't be showing all of them. You know, and in fact, they don't unlock unless you actually find the bounty poster. So, for instance, in Hernand, if you only collected 3 bounties, you can see how many there are supposed to be. I think there were 9 in the first part. That means that you're missing 6 of them somewhere along the line. So you end up having to just look. I mean, you can see them.
Please,
they show up on a mini map
today.
Okay, buddy, here you
You're
go.
a good person, friend.
You do get contribution points for doing that.
You gonna help me out or not?
Okay, buddy, you got a little attitude.
I'll do the same for you someday.
Okay, but you need to chill with the attitude, though. You know, people are probably wondering, why am I ignoring all the cats in the game? I didn't ignore all of them. The ones in Pororan I didn't ignore, but I don't have any as a pet. In real life,
I'll show you.
I'm a dog guy, so. I have nothing against cats, especially the friendly ones. The super aloof ones.
This is no place for half-wits like you.
These guys are really. I shouldn't be struggling with these guys. But one of the good things about these types of he ran off. These types of confrontations is you always get loot you can pick up. I usually go back and sell it to Rhett. Is this the criminal? Come here, guy. Are you the criminal? No, you're not the criminal. Sorry, buddy. My bad. I thought you were the criminal. I thought you were the outlaw. Alright. He wasn't the outlaw. That was embarrassing. Yeah, I usually just sell it to Rhett, but now that I actually have a blacksmith at my camp, I can just as easily stop going to Rhett and start selling it at my own camp. I've gotten so in the habit of going back to Hernand to buy food, sell gear, things like that. And I don't really need to do that because my camp is now a thriving 3rd stage camp that has its own blacksmith, its own oh, there you are. Its own wagoneer, its own everything.
What is it?
So a lot of that you can just do at the camp. The prices won't change. So if you, whether you sell it to Rhett or you sell it to the guy at the camp, it doesn't really matter. Or you can give it to Luke as camp provisions. But now that I have my dispatch thing going automatically for some of those dispatches,
Everyone's too touchy.
camp resources is pretty darn good. As I mentioned, I started out with 6 Greymane. I now have 25. I think there are 40. And then I think there are 20 or 25 other ones that
No crime.
that aren't core Greymane. In other words, they don't have the core ones all have names. I think the other ones won't. So I think the total number that you can get in the game is 65. But I think if you get to 40, you can max out your camp without the other 25.
It's just me making
But there
sound.
are some missions, like taking over a stronghold missions, that require a lot of them. And so if you can't do a mission because you don't have a lot of the soldier guys, the reason why you don't have them is because you haven't finished all the Greymanes.
You arrest me for this?
I couldn't figure out how to get this guy down here, so I just dropped him over the edge. Actually, wasn't trying to drop him over the edge.
You don't understand my song.
I was trying to fly down with him, which is pretty stupid because you can't fly with any of these. You can't fly holding anything.
Touchy.
And I could not. I ran around for 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get down here. And so I ended up dropping him down and then picking him up and carrying him to the constabulary, the prison. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You were talking too much anyway. Yeah, I could not. I walked around trying to figure out where's the exit to this place. I know how I got in, and I tried to figure out by reversing my steps, and the mini-map was not helpful because there are multiple levels, and I kept circling around the upper level. I could never get back to the lower level. So I figured I would jump over. Bad move. But I'm still getting the reward, or at least half of it.
Here you are.
Oh, you caught the sneaky bastard. Thanks. You know, I was about to start an investigation myself, but you got him. So that's that. Well, I'll be here next time, I'm sure.
He's not dead. He said there'd be a next time. I think he is dead. I think I got half of the bounty. I think the bounty was 30 and I got 15. Okay, Letter of Silence. The House Azarian quest. There's a lot in the Azarian estates. Lots of little question marks I need to sort of do. They're likely vendors. Some of them may be quests, because this is sort of a new... This is considered a... I guess considered a sub-region. So we're going to speak with this guy once we find him. You know, it's funny because this is the 13th episode, and I think it's probably rained more in the last 2 episodes than it has in the first 11 or 12.
Fine day, is it not?
Which is pretty interesting. I don't know, maybe as part of an update, Pearl Abyss decided, you know what, we need more rain. More rain in the game.
Did you see that woman's dress? What a gorgeous colour.
I actually think I have
out where she had it made.
I think I have a necklace where I can actually change the weather.
Over here.
Okay, here's a guy.
Here, take this and go to the location I told you.
You're not trying to
You'll
get me,
learn more once you arrive.
you're not trying to get me jumped, are you?
What a woeful fate.
Okay, let's see what he's talking about. And it's raining again. Like I said, it's amazing. It's like the game, whole episodes covering multiple days and even weeks where it has not rained at all.
A moment, if you please. I only need a few words.
All right, who was that? Is it you? I don't think it was you.
I picked up some lovely apples at the
No, it
market
wasn't you.
yesterday.
It's funny because I can
It's a real joy to see the
sometimes I
marketplace alive with
can't tell
townsfolk.
where the voice is coming from. I see a grindstone right there, but I think it was this guy.
Greymane,
No,
there
it's the
you
other
are.
guy. I guess I should look at the mini-map, huh? That would tell me.
A moment, if you please. I only need... I'm a servant to Count Ellamore.
Count Ellamore.
He wishes to speak with you in private
He was a new guy.
regarding a matter of great importance, one that concerns the peace of Demeniss. I would be grateful if you could visit the Count's manor.
Okay. I don't mean to climb the wall. All right. Oh, is this the Count's manor, or is this something different? No, I guess this is not the Count's manor. This is the letter. So remember, we were to.
I've been seeing so many.
Yeah, he's still
crows
talking. So let's
around
see if he
here
has
lately.
anything else to say.
Or is it just my imagination?
It's my sword, buddy.
Those black crows are rather unsettling.
Unless the crow caller is back, or the crow caller's mother, since he kept referring to his mom during our battle.
Greetings, stranger.
Hello. Alright, we found a well. I don't know why the game keeps telling me about the wells that I find. I never use them, although if you drink from the well, you do heal. But I obviously don't need to heal, so...
Who might you be?
A Greymane.
Oh, you must be the one the Count mentioned. There's a document he wanted me to give you. But a man should be compensated for his time.
Of course.
A saint you are. Here you go. Oh, give the Count my regards and keep this little exchange between us.
Okay, let's read her letter. To dismantle Bastion's faction, we must first erode his foundation. In the western reaches of Demeniss, a particularly troublesome garrison has taken root. These are the Flame Knights, specialists in the volatile art of gunpowder. Okay. Their commander, Tristan, the man who famously slew a dragon. Really? Okay, so I guess we're going to go after Tristan. Alright, so we are off to the Flame Knight Castle. Okay, so is this one of these ones we're going to have to fight our way through 100% of the crowd before we actually get to Tristan? I guess we're about to find out. Are you guys friendly? Yeah.
And strike. Once they're open, get in close with a quick thrust to force an opening, and snatch the bastard up and slam him into the dirt. Sounds tough, but you'll pick it up fairly quickly after watching someone do it. From the top, who are you? It's not the walls I'm here to protect, it's the people behind them. That's what I tell myself every morning I put this armor on. Get in close with a quick thrust to force an opening, then snatch the bastard up and slam him into the dirt. Sounds tough, but you'll pick it up fairly quickly after watching someone do it.
Okay, clearly I am now playing during the monsoon season. Okay, these are just the little citizen quests, I guess you can call them. I usually pick them up off the board and then do them on my own time. They're usually, not always, but usually pretty quick. Like literally, you go to a place, you pick something up, or you take a package to someone else. I mean, literally takes less than 5 minutes. But I guess it also allows you to build trust in the region as well, which then enhances your contribution to the region. I don't know whether or not that means anything, to be honest with you. You know, I've watched one content creator complete the game, and he didn't do any of this stuff. So now some of it he may have done off camera. He did admit to doing some things off camera, but looking at, you know, his menu, he didn't do a lot of it off camera. He did say he would go back and do a lot of this stuff post game. And in this game, I will say that post game, there's probably a lot to do versus other games where once you hit post game, there are no more real enemies to fight. All the bosses are gone. And I guess you can change the setting so that some of the places that you cleared are recaptured by the enemy. Okay, yeah, we are going to have to fight our way through all these people. Whoa, lots of people down here. So I guess that's part of it. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that. I'm generally a completionist and like to do, by the time I get to the final boss, I would have done everything in the game. So I would have found every cave. Usually, I think the one time I didn't do that was in the Ghost of Yote. Maybe even in Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. I think I might have had bonus episodes in both of those. I did have bonus episodes in Code Vein 2, but that was because in order to get the true ending, you had to do that. In this game, there's one ending. There's no true ending versus non-true ending, stuff like that. At least I don't think. The ending that I saw was pretty abrupt. Now, maybe there is another ending where it's less abrupt, but maybe because of the way this guy played, it ended up being that ending. I have to check and see. I'm not sure. I've tried to stay away from spoiling my own gameplay by looking way ahead to sort of see what's going on. If I'm stuck on a quest, I'll look to sort of see, well, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? But I don't want to know. I don't want to go through and mess up the story that way. I'm using poison arrows. I do have replenishing arrows, but I also have infinite arrows too, which gives me a 60% chance of not using an arrow. So I will say that, you know, you don't need infinite arrows 100% necessarily. I guess maybe if you were using explosive arrows only and you don't ever want to run out of those, you could. Eventually I'll end up with it because there's a mission in the Time Sworn area where one of the rewards is Infinite Arrows 1. I already have Infinite Arrows 2. The replenishing arrows are fine. Okay, so this place has a lot of enemies, so I'm not sure. We're gonna skip some of it. I'm not gonna, because it'll probably take me an hour just to get through all the enemies here. So we're going to be a little bit strategic. There. We're gonna go across to the other side. Hide in this little room. Create a choke point. My favorite strategy. As you can see on my Deathbringer sword, Ator's orbs and the crows from Crowcall. I extracted the Abyss gear and put it on this. I do have one more slot available. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on it. I could put Mirrodin's ground surge, which is pretty good. But my understanding is there's some other ones, and I guess I can always change it. I could put ground surge on until I get something better. Or I could put frost on until I get something better. And then it'll be a fully functional 5-slot weapon. Right now I only have 4 of them. I may do that. But I haven't struggled a lot. And I've refined this weapon once. I'll probably refine it 2 more times before we go back to the main quest. I learned the hard way that don't sell your iron ore or your copper or your bloodstone or any of that kind of stuff. You know, which is what I was doing, selling that stuff to Rhett because I needed more space in my inventory. But it's probably better to store that in your private storage, because if you do that, you can always go back and get them when you're ready to sort of upgrade. Now that I don't have to leave my camp to do it, it's a lot more convenient to just walk back to the tent, grab the stuff, and then go back to the blacksmith and say, okay, here's what I want to do. They really hate the Northerners. Wow. Maybe they're confusing us with the Black Bears. Unless they're talking about Jan, who, yeah, he sort of fits the description. I keep telling myself I should be using shield dash, and I keep being stubborn about it because this weapon can just sort of burst through everything. Okay, so
your armor won't save you from me.
I no longer have the percentage, so I'm not sure why there's so many of these guys left. Now we got a flamethrower over there. And I know I usually sort of spam 1 or 2 different attacks instead of having to learn 15 different button combinations on my controller to do every attack there is. You don't really need to do that. Early in the game, I was trying to do that, and it's just so confusing. And then when you get into a fight, you're like, okay, look, I'm just doing this. It seems to be working. That's a sleep arrow. You heard him snoring. So I guess the benefit of the sleep arrow is it gives you time to get up there and kill them. I don't know how long they stay asleep. And we have, where is the enemy actually? Where is Tristan? Oh, he's up to the left, looking down on the arena. Up to the right, looking down on the arena. I guess if I go to the middle of the arena, he'll jump down. Yep, I knew it. I knew. I was like, I didn't see him up there when I was wandering around up there. Nice shield, buddy.
You've got guts, I'll give you that!
corner.
Just another jealous bastard's paw.
He's got little bombs.
But I have slain dragons. And now I'll use its power to incinerate all obstacles.
Okay, I guess I could use I could use Nature's Grasp because he keeps knocking these pillars over. Not get blown up first.
I will scour you to the bone.
Okay. So don't get hit by those little things that come off of his shield. Those things. Don't get hit by that. Wow. Who knew I would need burn resistance for this fight? I guess I should know. His name was Flame Knight, right? Tristan the Flame Knight? Duh. I don't know how to avoid those. I mean... Ah. It's too He's not giving me a chance to use my Nature's Grasp thing. Even though time slows down, he seems to... I'm not doing any real damage to him, and his little stagger meter is not... Okay. Alright, so when he does the slam thing, I should dodge towards him. Yeah. Well, okay. Not that time. Okay, so either be really, really far away or dodge towards them when the little starfish looking slam comes out. Have him close to a stagger if I can get a couple more hits in on him. He's stuck on the, well, he was stuck. Oh my god. This one, I seem to get hit by a lot when he's in the air. Okay. He scampered out of the way that time. I think I'm better off running away from that. Yeah, using the focused force punch thingy really does work. You have to be close enough to do it. I've found that there are times when I'm further away than I should be, and I try it, and it totally whiffs. And you pay the price for that. So if you can be close enough, you'll stun him. You'll be able to get some flurries in if you use a heavy attack. you'll do regular damage and poise damage or critical damage. Okay, so we are done with Tristan, the Flame Knight. We can pick up his gear. We can get his sword and his shield once we locate it. It's funny, I don't know why this doesn't drop in the middle of the arena. Because it's very easy to run off and not do this. The sword is right.
How are you today?
I'm fine. Where's his sword? Yeah, there are a couple of these enemies that you end up fighting where there's loot, but the loot doesn't drop in the middle of the arena. That red ball, you should take. It's one of the cores. Okay, so here is the sword. Again, the same button for 5 different things. Just makes you look goofy when you jump for no reason. The spada or spada sword. I guess a spada, maybe. I will not be using that. And there is his dragon shield that's around here too. There it is.
You're new here, aren't you?
Now this one I'm not too sure about, whether I'll ever use it or not. I might. I don't know. It looks cool. So that little red ball that we saw, or orange ball that we saw, one of the reasons I couldn't take it, I'll show you in a second. You can pull it, you can definitely pull it off, right? So notice I don't have the option to seal it. Right? The reason I don't have the option to seal it is because I no longer have a cuckoo pot. You might be wondering, why the hell not? You got one. Well, what happens when you create another cuckoo item, it uses the cuckoo pot as the base ingredient for that item. It took me like 5 minutes of doing this for me to figure out. Then I went into my inventory and was like, well, I don't have a cuckoo pot. Where's my cuckoo pot? Actually had to look that one up, like what happened to my cuckoo pot. I thought maybe I inadvertently sold it to a vendor, so I went back to Rhett. He's my go-to guy for selling stuff. He didn't have it. I went to Luke at the camp. There was none there. This is the Western Court. We're going to fight the Half Moon Reaper. There are a few of these. There's the Western one. There's the Eastern one. I'm only going to show you the Western one. The Eastern one we'll show in the next video. Anyway. And so I had to look it up and discovered that when I created the... It's interesting because I created the cuckoo cooler and that didn't happen. But when I created the cuckoo insect gatherer is when it happened. And so what you do is you create another cuckoo pot. All the gear that was, all the stuff that was in the cuckoo pot is still there. So you don't lose any of that. So the smart move is to create extra cuckoo pots. I think it just requires timber and it's 2 ingredients. It's timber and something else. So you can create a bunch of them. I have blueprints for like 8 or 9 different cuckoo things. And the game wants me to create a jetpack. for Unka so he could fly. But it kept telling me I didn't have a cuckoo pot to do it. And I wasn't sure what that meant, and now I realize what it meant.
I'm just here.
So at some point along the way, I'll create a bunch of cuckoo pots just so that I can create more cuckoo things. I'm almost done with the research at the Research Institute at Skelastone, and I'm almost done with the research at Auroran. And I know there's research in other regions. I haven't found those yet. So anyway, we're going to take these guys out. And then we're going to fight their boss. And then we're going to wrap things up for this episode. Like I said, it's a little bit of a shorter episode than the previous one. We have 3 dogs. Snow, Casey, and Shadow. Let's call Snow. That's because Doggy picks up everything. And then I go back and I drop some things, and he goes back and picks up the things I dropped. I'm like, okay, buddy. So I'm still probably not managing my my inventory well. I have a ton of Abyss artifact, the sealed ones, and a ton of Abyss gear that I'm not using, and there's no reason for me to carry those with me. If I know I'm going to go to a witch, I can always just go back and get them, and then go and do that stuff. So I don't need to keep them on me. So I probably could free up about 50 spaces just by doing that. The one thing about Kliff's house on the other side of Howling Hill is it doesn't have it has a wardrobe so you can store armor, and it has a collectibles chest, and it has a cuckoo cooler, but it doesn't have the personal chest. I'm not sure why that's still in the tent at Howling Hill and not in his house. Because up until that point, there's no motivation for you to go to his house when you just put everything in your personal storage. Anyway, let's fight Half Moon.
So, you're ready to
Snow.
die
That's
then?
the other dog.
My
I'm sorry.
blade
I thought I picked
will
Snow.
never
That was Casey. Okay, Nature's Echo. I don't know why I thought I had that already. This is an example of not needing to use an artifact to do it, because it unlocks automatically.
I'll carve the glory of our cause into your flesh. A foreign cur, daring to stand against our cause.
She's going to trash talk through the whole fight.
None who defy the Grand General live to tell of it.
So the good thing about having the
Kneel and beg for your life.
the good thing about having the crows on along with Ator's orbs
Your blood shall honor our cause.
is that she gets ouch.
Think you can outrun my blade?
She gets semi-stunned. Okay, well, I died, so that wasn't all that good. But yeah, we're gonna start this from the beginning. I will not die again. In this fight, it only took me 2 times. The first time, which you just saw, and this time. I think.
Daring to stand against our cause.
Her little spike blades are dodgeable. You can roll through the ones that cross over. The other ones you can just go from side to side. So you're gonna get Echo again. Yeah, I don't know what prompts the little explosion. So you have to watch out for them, because if you stand on the spot where the explosion occurs, it causes a lot of damage. Yeah, you just want to keep doing that until you run out of stamina, because it really, really causes both physical damage to her as well as builds her stagger meter. Yeah, she sort of does what the Corrupted Greymane person did, is fly away when you start really getting a lot of damage, but it's okay. We figured her out. Make sure you dodge those. Keep top off your health, just to make sure. And stop hitting L3. See, that was an example of me missing the focus force palm. Okay. Easy to dodge. Okay. He's got me panic dodging all over the place. So I need to build my spirit. I don't need to actually, but it's good to have the spirit topped off. I don't think Nature's Snare works on those. There we go. Gotcha. Nope. That almost cost me my life. I was not trying to summon my horse. There we go. Messing this up big time. One more of these. Whoa. Took me that time. One more of these little attacks. Really, Discovery Anvil? Come on, I'm in the middle of a fight. Let's build up our spirit again. Yeah, I seem to take chip damage no matter what I do once I... That's okay, I'm... trying to get close enough to use the force pummel on her, and she keeps moving out of the way. Okay. Oh, she got me. Yeah, they definitely reward you for being aggressive versus being passive in the game. Because as long as I was being passive, she was doing more damage. So we defeated the Half Moon Reaper. Oh, now we gotta fight her friends before we... I got it down to 0. I guess there's just one guy left. So I did not search the manor that she was sitting in front of when we walked in. I don't know that there's anything in this one, but in the eastern one, there is a necklace hidden in a basement that is it's a lightning necklace. It's actually pretty good. So you definitely want to go into that house and find that. I may have missed something in this one too. I'm not sure. I can always go back to it. Once you defeat the enemy, you can go back. So in the eastern one, I did have to go back because I didn't do that initially. And then I read, oh, no, there's a great necklace in this part of the game. And it's the eastern, and I remember doing it and didn't go in. You can take her weapon. Where is it? It's somewhere, again, not in the middle of the arena.
How on earth could something like that be floating in the sky?
Okay, so I did take her weapon, but you can take it. It's sitting off to the side somewhere in a rack. So we are going to wrap this up by looking for a little box in this manner. Again, this is one of the Azarian quests. Sorry for the weird cut, but there's not much to do other than find the box. So once we find the box, we're going to wrap this episode up. And when we return in episode 14, we'll start with a couple of side quests. Depending on how many of those we do, we may go ahead and start chapter 9 as well, since I know chapter 9 is going to be more than one part. Where seems like there's a memory in here somewhere. That's the box. Read the letter. Okay. The Damien has a device. Sky step. Ride the wind. But, so I don't. Okay, we'll keep it. If we end up playing as Damien again, we'll do some upgrading and do some of that stuff for her. But in the meanwhile, thank you guys for joining me in episode number 13. When we come back, we will do a couple more of these and likely go ahead and start chapter 9. Thanks again. This is Reg with PaxAriaGaming. Uploads every Tuesday and Friday. I will see you in the next episode. Take good care. Bye.